talking about the live, how to grade the live animal and the carcass. So first you should be familiar with the certain areas. That is the ham region. I hope all of you know the ham region. The cushion of the ham, as we've seen in the case of cattle, this region you have to see, ham region and the cushion. Then the rump region, this region, okay, rump region, this region, and the loin region. Loin region you have to see. Then the jowl region is also very important to differentiate the fatty pigs. So this, so ham you have to be look into that. Then the cushion of the ham, this rump region, the ham region, then the loin region, and we have to see the jowl region also. So these are very important. Certain parts we should understand, then we will be knowing. So how will you examine the swine? So at least 15 feet, you can stand far, 15 feet I'm talking, you can stand far from the animal and you can examine. One is the length. You can note the length. If it is the length is more, the framework is more, so you can expect more yield. Next is arch of the top line. See, it should be flat or it should have a symmetric arching. It should not have a symmetric arching. It should have a symmetric arching or it should be flat. It should be flat. Next is the jowl region also you can see. Jowl region also you can see. It should not be too flabby like, okay. It should not be too flabby like. So again you have to see the front view, the legs should be wide apart. The jowl should not be too flappy. If it is too flappy, it indicates it is having more fat. Okay. The front view, note the width, head features and body width. And rear view. Again, the rear view is very important. I told the ham should be broader than the loin region. So when you see from the back, the ham region or the rump region should be much broader than the loin region. So you can see here the most ideal animal and some fault you can see. You can compare this to, it is having a long length body, the shoulder and the loin region should be smooth like, okay. Jowl region you can see it should be trim, that is should not be flabby like, you can see here it is edgy. If the jowl region is very big, okay, it is just hanging like, it indicates it is more fatty like. Then you can see the back region, see the balanced arch back or it should be straight. Here you can see it is not straight, it is lacking the arch. Then tail, again you can see the tail, high tail set, the tail will be up like, it indicates it will be more healthier animals and better meat quality like. You can see here the tail is low. Shallow ham, you can see this ham. This is very important. Okay, the ham is not properly developed. Here you can see it is well fully developed ham. The ham is fully developed, it is round. Okay. Then the leg region, it should be straight. You can see it is not, the pastern is crossed like, it is not proper like, too shorty. So these are the few things that you have to look. One is the, mainly you have to concentrate on the ham region, the jowl region, the top region. So these are certain things. And always remember that the ham region or the rump region should be bigger than the loin region. So now coming to the live animal measurements and how we can correlate with certain yield is that body length and the chest grip. So body length we can measure like this from the anterior edge of the shoulder to the buttocks region or this till here you have to measure that region. This is the body length you have to measure. Then the chest grip just anterior to the forelimbs. You can just measure the chest. Again, it will be more clear when we talk about the goat. I'll show that one. Okay. And again is the height of the wither region. So you should measure from here. You should not bend the tape to the top. It should be straight. You can see the difference between this. It should be straight. You should not bend and measure it. Commonly the students do that one. It is not the way of measuring the wither region. It should be straight. You should not bend to the top. It should be straight. I hope you understood that. Generally we measure from here and we'll be bending and we'll be seeing the height here. It should not happen. It should be straight. So the height of the wither. Next is the pelvic width. So this is how we measure the pelvic width. From the both right and the left edges, we have to measure the pelvic width. Again, it will be clear when I talk about the goat grading. So in the case of pig grading, in the heel grade, we have 5 grades like in that grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4 and utility grade. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4 and utility grade. So the grade, as we talked in the case of cattle, it is having 5 grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here it is not 5, 4 plus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the utility. So in the case of muscling, as already we talked about in the case of cattle, here also you have to see the the hand region should be bigger than the loin region. So you can see a short ham cushion should be there. Shank should be very small. You can see the difference. It should be full ribs. Just like in the case of cattle, same thing only. So the muscling stores, generally we go with thick, average and thin. Thick, average and thin. Most of the pigs that we get in Indian markets is mostly the average type. Okay. So these are the certain things that we have to look into. Ham, as I already told, the ham should be round. It should be much wider than the loin region. The leg should be straight. Okay. The width between these two legs and as well as the distance between the two legs, if it is more, it shows it is more healthier animal, or it will give more yield life. So it is very clear in this picture. So we have it is from the rear view. We are just seeing the legs are very wide. You can see here the ham region is much broader than the loin region or the belly region. If you see from the back, the ham region is covering or we are not able to see the belly region on the loin region. Here you can see it is not that much, the ham region is not that much developed line. So it is light muscles, and you can see the leg distance also. Leg distance, you can just see here, leg distance. So even in this space, you can see approximately that will be proportionately here also. Here you can see the leg space, this region is bigger line. So this also indicates is this well muscled animal compared to this animal. So level, we already talked about the level, the top levels, it should be straight or it should have a symmetric arching. It should be straight or it should have a symmetric arching. Then you can check for the leg conformation also. Already in the last class we had talked about this. So in the case of, this is a normal, it should be straight. Okay, it should be straight. Here you can see it is somewhat arched or sickle shape. Here it is more straight. So again, it will find difficult to bear the weight and weak pastern. This is a weak pastern you can see. So here you see very good examples. You can see this is almost straight, like the top is straight, the tail is up, and you can also see the ham region is well developed. Well round shaped, ham region is well developed, it's almost shaped. So here you can see it is not symmetrical. It is more slanting like. Okay. Arched top and steep hip. You can see this hip region is very steep. This again indicates it's not highly muscled. It should not be, the rump region should not be so steep, especially in the case of goat. You can come across such the emaciated goats. You can see it is very steep. Like here, here you can see it is not that much steep. It's very smooth. Is it here? This here, here you can see it's very steep. Like so, this all indicates it's not highly muscled compared to this animal. Yeah. So you can see the estimate the cuttability in pigs. Already we know what is cuttability. It's a trimmable cuts that you can get it. So now coming to the grading. So this two grades, that is grade 1 and grade 2, it is usually we give that grading for the large framework. The animal is having large framework in the case of pigs. So here there is just having a thick muscled animal that is trim, legs set apart, wide apart, ham is wider than the loin region. Here also moderately large frame with moderate muscle, animal is slightly fatter than animal 1. And here the 3 and 4 is generally graded for the small frames. 3 is for with thin muscling, ham and lion are about the same width. See, always the ham width should be wider than the lion region. So when you see from the back, straight back, if you stand straight to that animal and see from the back, you should not be in position to see the lion. The ham should be much wider. Legs are fairly close together, and again you can see is grade 4, smaller frame with thin muscling, ham and lion are same width, back is flat, ham will show sign of too much of fat. The ham will show too much of fat. Again, the animal which is too fatty, the jowl region will be just hanging, or it will be loose like. If the animal is more muscled, you can see in this animal, see the jowl region, see it is well developed. It is not flabby like. It is not much flabby. Here you can see it is comparatively more flabby like. Okay, you must have observed in our doing pig processing also. The utility of the cull animals means is the poor quality meat animals. That is the animals which is diseased, emaciated, the skins are. So such animals also will come across when we do the slaughtering also. Is it clear? So that is called as the utility of the cull animal. So here you can see is the grade 1 and grade 2, grade 3. See here you can see the ham region is well developed. This is grade 1. You can see comparatively it is less well developed. You can see here the leg region is much wider. Here it is not that much wider like it is very short here. Okay. So you can see the difference here. You can see the difference here. Okay. So this is grade 4. Again, you can see the difference. So now coming to the, that is the live animal grading we have seen in the case of pigs. Now we are moving to the pig carcass grading. So in the pig carcass grading again, the 3 factors we have to look into. One is the amount of fat, that is nothing but the back fat thickness, muscle development, and the carcass size. So amount of fat. So in the case of cattle, we told that it is between the 12th and the 13th ribs. In the case of pigs, it is between the 10th and 11th ribs. So in the case of pigs, there will be 11 ribs. So it is the last, between the last and the last before ribs. We'll be just cutting it, and we'll be seeing the back fat thickness. Same as in the case of cattle I explained. Same way only here also we will be seeing that one. But here we will be including the thickness of the skin. The skin thickness will also be included. In the case of cattle, the skin will be removed. In the case of pigs, the skin will not be removed. So we have to include the skin thickness also. Not only the back fat, including the skin will be showing the total back fat thickness. Note that one, because you will be forgetting that one. You have to include the skin thickness also. So this is how we can see this, the back fat thickness. As we talked about in the case of cattle, total in the 3/4 you have to take and you measure it. Perpendicularly you can measure this. This is the area we will see the back fat thickness. So in the case of cattle we have seen 0.2, 0.3 because in the case of cattle the back fat thickness will not be that much, but in the case of pigs the back fat thickness is more, because it's a monogastric animal, just like a human. It will be converting most of the energy into fat after certain weight. So here you can see here 1.1 inches. It starts from 1.1 inches. It goes like, okay. For the bacon and ham, that is for the cured bacon and ham, we'll be going in this range like 1.1 to 1.5 range. Like you can select it. It should not be too fatty also, because it will be affecting the quality. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can go for the culled one. So this is the range like. So when you get the back fat thickness, this range, you can say it comes under the culled quality. The 1.1 to 1.5, you can say it's medium. So 2.3 double. So it goes like this. Okay, this is how the grading is done like. So as we've seen in the case of cattle, same way you have to measure it and you can put the grade. So muscle development, as I told, in the case of cattle, the ribeye area. Here also we will be measuring the ribeye area. In the case of pig, I told you it is between the 10th and 11th ribs. But in the case of lamb, generally we will not measure the ribeye area. Instead of that, we will be measuring the leg area, that I will be showing you later in the case of goat or the sheep. So muscling, we already talked that one by just visually, we are just see it. That is the score we can use 1, 2, and 3. That is thin, average, and the thick. These scores we can give just by visualing the animal, that is a live animal. We can just see that one, and you can put it by seeing that how the ham is developed compared to that of the lion, how the rib area is there, how the legs are apart. All these factors you can take it and you can score it. Next is the lion area is another estimate, as we already talked that. The normal range, the lion area is around 3.5 to 7 square inch. That is the, as we measured in the case of cattle, the same way we have to measure it. You have to use the grid and you can measure the lion area. So this is how we measure it, and you can find the weight of the animals. So this is the cattle used area. Same thing you can correlate with that of the pigs also. Then the carcass size. Again, the lion eye area is directly proportional to the carcass weight. Already I told you, if the lion eye area is small, the cuttability or the quantity of meat you get will be more. You'll get the more. In the case of pork carcass, again, how we can measure, already we talked about this. The carcass size, the size is measured by the means of carcass length, which is distance from the anterior edge of the first rib to the anterior point of the hitch bone or the pelvic bone. So this is how we measure the carcass length in the case of cattle. Anterior edge of the first rib to the hitch bone. Anterior edge of the hitch bone. So this is the measuring of carcass length. So then if you want to measure the ribeye area, you have to cut it between this area and you can measure the ribeye area, and back fat thickness also you can measure. Or if you want to only measure the back fat thickness, just you cut it and see the back fat thickness also. The carcass size, sorry. So this is how we measure it from the anterior edge of the first rib to the anterior edge of the hitch bone. So this is how we measure the carcass length. This is just for your information, how we can differentiate a male carcass and the female carcass, or the burrow and the gilt. How we can mention is, here in the case of male, there is a bone called as physil bone. Okay, physil bone. When you cut it, that one, you can get a physil bone. Once I will show you when you come for the practical. This is a physil bone, you can see it, which we will not find in the case of female carcass. So once you divide the carcass into two, okay, how you can see whether differentiate whether it's a male carcass or the female carcass is just by using the physil bone. You can see it, whether it's a male carcass or female carcass. So when you get the carcasses, you can see it, because in the case of pork, we will be cutting into two, longitudinally we will be cutting into two halves. So we can see which whether it's a male or female by identifying the physil bone. So here, the muscling, how we can measure is by this formulations. You can use the things. One is hot carcass weight. HWW is nothing but the R carcass weight. Then lie on high area, it is ribeye area. You can see this is a ribeye area which we can measure. Then we have the fat thickness. Fat thickness. So the fat thickness you can